Ebobi Igbo mmanụ asị m ka nke echiri ya zelu dịka o si dị gị bụ onye ọma na-ege ntị daalụli nne na ụmụ ife kunu si wee na-esola anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24 bịa bụ ife anyị na-akpọ ya evening tea dịka unu si wee malụ ọ evening tea ka anyị na-akpọ ya ihe a bụ gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo a and gbasịta maka ngwụrụwa na-azọ emeka bụ ka ọ dị na ọbụla ya dị enye unu update ihe na-emegasị ebe dị iche iche kwuru na aghọta ife na-emenụ ọ ga-enye aka anyị na-akwado ụwa ya ọfụma n'ife ha na-eme maka information is power so ya mere anyị ji wee na-agba mbọ iwetara unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi anyị na-akpọ evening tea n'Igbo akwụkwọ ma dịka o si dị o nwere ihe Biafran prime minista nwere ikwe anyị n'elu akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị nke taa a ma chọkwa onye ọbụla bụ Igbo ọma na-ege ntị na-anụ olu m na-anụ asụsụ m na-asụ gee ya bụ ife ị ga-esi ya ịdrọpụla your own contribution, your own comment n'elu akwụkwọ gbasara maka ihe ndị a niile Biafran prime minister kwuo. All right, over to you, sir.
I'm like, don't forget to drop it. Don't forget to drop it, because sometimes that's what usually happens. But it's there. The part one, it's out there. So we will go back to. So what we've been doing has been just taking a listen to some of the clips of what he has said and just analyzing those clips. The next clip that we are going to be on, if I'm not mistaken, is this particular clip, and here it is.
Particular status, that's one. Secondly, Peter Obi is seen in some quarters as the face of opposition, so to speak. And one will expect that a party that gave him that platform to contest for the president of the country, that he will be able to offer leadership and turn that party to something that to become a brand for anyone who wants to aspire to govern the country or govern the state or be a lawmaker, as the case may be. For him, at his level,
for him, at his level. Okay, so he says that Mr. Peter Obi is seen as the face of opposition. Well, that's quite true. And remember, he said Mr. Peter Obi are not Labour Party. And currently, what Mr. Peter Obi is doing is to focus on that opposition that he's doing. He's everywhere all over the country. He's visiting people. He's listening to people as much as he could in his individual capacity, solving people's problems. But most importantly, he's giving hope to the people. And I think, a lot of people have been disillusioned by the Ndigbo administration because nobody believed that anyone can actually be worse than Buhari. And unfortunately for Nigeria, Ndigbo came in and in less than 6 months have shown how worse he can be than Buhari. So part of the things that they expect is for Mr. Peter Obi to be fixated, to be focused on the issue of Labour Party, and then they can be putting in their problem, one problem or the other, so that he'll be running up and down, helter-skelter, trying to, put out fires, just like what they did with Ali Modu Sheriff when Ali Modu Sheriff, went into PDP and became the chairman, and, a whole lot of issues that went on within that period, and up till now PDP has not been able to recover from it. And APC think that they can use the same kind of guidebook and continue to use it against opposition, but they have seen someone who has decided that he's not going to fall for that trick. He's going to focus on the issue at hand and not on the things that they want him to be doing. And that is why you now see the APC people, actually crying more than the bereaved. What's your business with Labour Party? Allow Labour. If Labour Party is doing anyhow, it's in your interest now. If you really were sure that Mr. Peter Obi was not doing the right thing, people would have just been joyously waiting and say, okay, no wahala, as it come. But now, 2027 never come. The guy never talk anything, but you guys are all over the place and, sort of like, running helter-skelter, here and there, and you want him to be invested in this in whatever shenanigan that you want him to be invested in. But I think he has proven to be smarter than that. Let's take a listen at the next clip.
This level, at that status of trying to preside over the country, to the point that he was even laying claim that he won the election. For him to say he will abandon the ship without helping to resolve it means that he was not prepared for leadership ab initio. It is different from him trying to defect to another party. If he's not able to resolve the crisis in his party, and he goes to another party that he thinks is stable and peaceful, then he'll be missing the point, because the whole essence of leadership is for your ability for you to resolve issues in political parties, try as much as possible to make it a veritable platform that...
Okay, this is quite an interesting one. Listening to the clip was quite an interesting. So first of all, let me say to Mr. Kasim Afegwa that indeed Mr. Peter Obi did win the 2023 election. He knows it. I know it. Most of us, most Nigerians know it, except the ones, of course, that the rigging favored them, and they felt that, oh, as long as they voted and somebody rigged and the person they voted for got into office, that's all that matters. But anyway, that's by the way, because the Mr. Peter Obi, whose election has been rigged, has said he has moved on. He has gone through the whole, process of the law and shown the whole country that indeed we do not even have a judiciary. There's a judicial capture that we all must put our hands together to rescue the judiciary from it. And so he did win the 2023 election. He talking about the fact that he was not prepared for leadership because he has said whatever it is that they are now making it out that he has said. Excuse me. We that voted for him, majority of Nigerians that went to the polls voted for Mr. Peter Obi. We know he's prepared for it, and right now even those people who initially know he's prepared for it, but felt that because he's in a smaller party, might not this thing. Now they're seeing that he actually means business. He's not going away. He's standing there. He's moving around, and I think this is the part of the thing that has really got APC so rattled that they're just going helter-skelter, and they're looking for ways to keep him focusing on the problems that they can keep throwing at Labour Party and be doing all sorts of things. But no, Mr. Peter Obi has said that he is not going to be part of that. And then, there was something that Mr. Kasim Afebwa said where he said it is different from him trying to defect. So he's also a defector? Okay, we agree on that. So he can move from party to parties. He can run from one party to the other. And if I'm not mistaken, he was in APC, came to PDP and went to APC. Well, I don't know much of that, but I think those are some of the things they are going. But there's something that Mr. Afegwa said that for me it's a bit, I didn't understand it, and I would really love if Mr. Afegwa, anybody that knows this answer on his behalf, can tell me what it is about. He said Afegwa is saying he can defect to other parties because he does not have leadership qualities, or am I missing something? No, I had to, because when he's speaking, I'm actually noting those things that so that I don't forget anything when I'm trying to analyze it. So is he saying that because he doesn't have leadership qualities, or is he saying he doesn't have leadership qualities so he can defect to other parties, or is he saying that he has not reached the stage, because he mentioned that I think you see that in the part 1 that he has not reached the stage to be a president? Is that why he can defect from party to party, or are there some double standard where Mr. Afegwa can move from party to party and somebody else does not move? And this is me even saying, even if Mr. Peter Obi decides to move to another party, which is something that he hasn't, even put on the table, but hey, if he decides that's what's going to happen, and so that's the question I'm going to ask, and so Mr. Afegwa feels that he can do it, but somebody else can do it. Make it make sense to me. But anyway, we are in the process of hearing, and so this time also we're going to hear another clip.
To be a lawmaker and otherwise. So the point I'm making is that at that level of Peter Obi, who is seen in some quarters as the face of opposition, to be giving up hope that the Labour Party's intractable problems are not resolvable, that because of that he's going to jump ship to go to another party, takes away a lot from his so-called leadership credentials. And I'm saying that is not the way to go. Because if you want to rebuild Nigeria, if you want to reform the country, you must start from even reforming the vehicles which people usually use to pursue their aspiration. You need to reform the political parties. You need to ensure that the right persons are there, things are done properly, there's right accountability, there's leadership cohesion and all of that. So that people will not be looking at, oh, if Peter Obi were to be president, this is what he will have done. Look at the way he has done Labour Party. But now, they'll find it easier to criticize government, to run all manners of commentaries, but the small party they are running, the Labour Party, is a mesh in all manner of crisis, internal frictions and contradictions. And if they are unable to resolve it, then Peter Obi should not even dream of aspiring to be president of this country, because it is all about himself, I, me, and I kind of political scenario. And that's what I'm talking about. If I'm going to run for president of the country,
if he's going to run for the president of the country anyway, the first thing is that I think for me, I'll just give a free advice is that Mr. Kasim Afegwa has to see that from his mind, it starts from the mindset that he's capable, he has what it takes to run, and so he should not belittle himself and think that he has not reached the state or the status or any one of them. But the thing also I want to say is that, is it his hope? He said that, oh, Mr. Peter Obi has given up on hope on this. Excuse me? I know there was something he said where he said that if he wants to rebuild Nigeria, so what is APC that he is saying is the government that I know is the legitimate government? What is APC doing? Killing Nigeria? Because of course they are really succeeding in killing Nigeria. So this is Mr. Afegwa right now shifting away responsibility, putting leadership, because we all know who we voted for. We all know who the real president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is, and that's Mr. Peter Obi. Shifting that responsibility to Mr. Peter Obi to build the nation, to build the parties. He didn't even say Labour Party. He went on to talk about building the parties and all of that. Meanwhile, the Tinubu that rigged his way into office should be, going to events late, and also, going there to sleep, and that's what we should be expecting for him, not any other thing, and also to overturn the waste of our collective wealth. And it's all about just craziness of not taking responsibilities of the things that just going on. Okay, you want Mr. Peter Obi to start reforming the vehicles, and he has refused to reform the vehicles. He's not focused on the vehicle. So if you like, keep attacking the vehicle. If you like, keep doing all sorts of things in the vehicle. So he's not going to waste time. There's something they call smartness. Smartness. The fact that they are used to PDP's kind of opposition, that's what you are looking for from it. Nah, you're not going to get it. PDP and Article's kind of opposition, you disappear after this thing come. Then you'll be doing all manner of things you want to do. Mr. Peter B has said, no, the guy they give their headache, no be smart, he jump. Everywhere you are saying anyway, let me come back to this. So if Mr. Kasim Afegwa believes that there's a need for reform of political parties and all of that, since he happens to be a part of the illegitimate government that we have right now, why don't they do executive bill? What are the things? What are the reforms? What are the things? Go ahead, go and do it. Leave Mr. Peter Obi out of all of these things and just let him be. That's just, that's just for me, that's really just the thing. But anyway, I'm still gonna come. I'm still trying to get us. There are quite a number of more clips, that are coming on now. And this is it. We are going to listen to this clip now. Hold on.
Kind of political scenario, and that's what I'm talking about. If I'm going to run for president of the country, I will look for a party that can give me that platform. And if I lose the election, I will ensure that I build such a party to become something that people will adore, and people will also find worthy to present their own aspiration. But the way Peter Obi is going about it is a complete miss of what political parties as vehicle for leadership recruitment is.
Well, let's just lay off Peter Obi for a few moments and focus our attention on the PDP.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say, that since Peter Obi has shown his own way, and according to Kasim Afegwa, Peter Obi's way is not the right way, so why don't we have the Afegwa way? I'm willing to learn. So Mr. Afegwa should come out and teach us, run for office, and then if his election is rigged, or like you say, if he loses, then go and build the party so that every one of us will see exemplary parties that we all can be part of and grow. So fine, fantastic. Go ahead and do it. Mr. Peter Obi is saying he's not going to do that. He's going to hold government accountable. He's going to show leadership. He's going to be there for the people. He's going to go around. He's going to listen to people. He's going to give people hope. He's going to tell people that indeed a new Nigeria is possible and show them how a new Nigeria is possible. He's going to be there, letting them know that we need to move from consumption to production. And so if they have a problem with that, go and give good governance. And I think one of the things that Afegwa and his people did not put into consideration was that there was going to be this man with his coconut head refusing to go away. And of course, governance and propaganda don't go hand in hand. PDP allowed the whole of propaganda. They refused to play opposition. They were nowhere to be found. And that gave APC, they began to grow wings and horns, thinking that they're the ones who know how to do all of this. And there comes a Mr. Peter Obi, who is really saying to them, no, enough is enough. That's not the way to do it. Anyway, we'll continue with our clips. There are more clips to come, and here is this one.
Just lay off Peter Obi for a few moments and focus our attention on the PDP, Atiku Abubakar. He called on opposition political parties in Nigeria to form a coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections, to take a page out of the recently concluded Senegalese elections. What do you make of this?
Well, there is no harm in bringing forward suggestions, except that if Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi would concede that there will be no vacancy in 2027 by the special grace of God, that the current occupant of the office will serve first term and he will present himself for the second term, then I will understand that the point they are making might make some sense in terms of helping to enrich the political process by having multiple candidates. But this is the turn of the southern part of the country. There's no vacancy. If you're a northerner, you want to aspire to govern this country in 2027, I will plead that they bury such thought. It's our turn in the south to balance the political algorithms of the country and ensure that we serve out our 8 years as they have done before power will rotate down to the north again to be 2031. And so Atiku may be making points in terms of trying to rev off his own followers, but the Senegalese election that he used as a basis, they are completely opposite, because the candidate of that election was for his.
Okay, interesting. Someone who earlier was accusing Mr. Peter Obi of being selfish, his selfish interest to want to be governor, is here talking about how, it's the turn of the South, so Tinubu would have to do his second term and stuff like that. Not the fact that whether Tinubu is doing the right thing or not doing the right thing, or giving good governance or not giving good governance, or people are suffering or people are not suffering. That's not his concern. If that's not the definition of selfish interest, I don't know what selfish interest is. And then when they're talking about this southern South, so does that mean Peter Obi that is from the southeastern part of the country is not south? Or is it that Peter Obi's south is not south enough, or because he's Igbo, he's not southern enough for Afegwa? And so when he's talking about a party going to the south, and then of course he automatically assumes that if there's anything like an alliance between Atiku and Obi, that Obi is not going to be the one that is the presidential candidate. It's crazy. Anyway, for me personally, that alliance it's a no. That's my own personal take. So I'm not the one who is there with the things going on. So any of those things, just people should dead it. But that's just the mindset. That's the kind of mindset that they have. And so, like I said earlier, some of the things, if you've watched this or you watched the part one earlier, you hear where I talked about the fire. I think Afegwa thinks that the way he speaks, almost as if Peter Obi is not supposed to be running. He should still be doing the ballet to some people. But then, how dare he decide that he's going to run? And so for me, so when the question remains: is Peter Obi not southern enough? I think at this moment, I'm also going to move to the next clip for us to hear from the next lead. So
it will be 2031. And so Atiku may be making points in terms of trying to rev off his own followers, but the Senegalese election that he used as a basis, they are completely opposite, because the candidate of that election was his 44-year-old Senegalese, Bassirou Faye, is more or less like a son to Atiku Abubakar. So if Atiku Abubakar is thinking of contesting 2027, he needs to make a rethink. He needs to think about the new dynamics, the contemporary issues, in the country, and try as much as possible to promote younger ones to come and aspire to govern to preside over the country at whatever level, whether governors, House of Reps, or president. But in the case of Nigeria as it is now, I think we have a president who is doing well and who will contest a second term. God granting him good health. God preserving him up to 2027 will feature President Bola Ahmed Tinubu again to serve his second term. After that, maybe Atiku may want to contest at 86, 87.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You know, sometimes listening to this, old school politicians, you just shake your head, and like the audacity, the way they just take Nigerians for granted. But anyway, that awakening will come. Where we got to in 2023, once upon a time in Nigeria, we actually didn't even think about that we are going to get to that particular place, and we did well. So they're thinking about presenting Tinubu in second term, not thinking about whether he has done well, he has not. Those people are not even interested in governance. They are already in election mode, and that's why they find it very annoying that Peter Obi is not slowing down at all. He's all over the place, just going around sprinkling hope all over the country. And this is something that it seems they just can't get themselves their heads over it. They just can't think about how is this person going on about all of these things. I think basically I'm thinking, should I take the next clip or should I take the next? I think the next clip is going to be a bit long, but hey, let's take that.
To follow the footsteps of the APC that came into power, through forming alliances, and then gave us a candidate that eventually became president, in his 70s. But I would like us to go back to the issue of Peter Obi. I'm reading some comments now, and some analysts believe that you're simply trying to shift attention from the APC's failures, by attacking Peter Obi's leadership qualities and speculating on what his presidency would have been like. Because if not, how do we explain the fact that a large number of Nigerians, are now talking of the good old days under the PDP? From all available statistics, the country, it seems, was better off under the PDP. Shouldn't you be more concerned about that instead of attacking Peter Obi's so-called leadership qualities?
Well, thank you very much. I don't begrudge those who are sending in comments, but the facts of the matter are as plain and simple as I have presented them. If there is any way I have stated anything to the contrary, they should take me on that. You have a political party which gave you a platform. They call the Labour Party. The Labour Party is embroiled in crisis and political turmoil. There are internal contradictions, internal rife every day. There are arrests, there are litigations, all manners of things. I expect that a man who aspires to preside over this country with all the disparities in the country, with all the intricate logic and our differences, should be able to sit down at a round table and summon the leadership of a Labour Party and nip the crisis in the bud from day one. And if the thing continues to fester, it takes away from him that he's unable to reconcile differences in just a small political party. How much more will he do if he's given the opportunity to preside over a larger entity called Nigeria? So it's not about attacking his personality. It's not about shifting the goalposts, or it's not about shifting attention away from what APC is doing. As far as I'm concerned, given the scenario that we met on ground, the president of the country has done so well in the last 10 months, and is still continuing in doing that. And so if Peter Obi wants to show that he's actually an opposition, and he wants to give face to opposition, You should do the little things, those minute details. And these details are that your party is in crisis. They are causing distraction to even government. You are causing distraction to President Tinubu. Please resolve the crisis in your party. Choose the right leadership. Make yourself accountable to the people who donated money to your party. There are accusations here and there. There are counter accusations and all of that. That is not the kind of thing we want to see in an opposition political party. An opposition political party should lead by example and tell the ruling party, well, you are not doing well in this area. This is how we think that we can do better. That is a way of seeing opposition as an integral part of the democratic process. But when your party is embroiled in crisis and you are unable to reconcile little differences, everything hovering around issue of accountability, money missing, money not missing, and all of that. Treasurer is fighting chairman is fighting this, candidate is for talking. For God's sake, that will not advance any tangible discourse in terms of political equivocation. So I am of the opinion that those who are supporters of Peter Obi should tell him that he should sit down and do less of travel, reconcile the differences in the Labour Party, reduce the noise level, in the political landscape, and allow President Tinubu to concentrate on the...
Okay, so without trying to how do I say it, beat my own drum, I think I'm also one of those people that do advise Mr. Peter Obi in little ways. We talk, he calls, he seeks my advice, we sit down at the table, and I think what I'm going to advise him is that we need to add more to those travels. We need to double, triple, quadruple those travels, because those travels are really having the desired, more than the expected effect that we have, and that the government is really rattled and unsettled because someone is going around minding his business, distributing hope to the people and just telling the people, hang on there and don't give up on Nigeria. And so this is what is really annoying them. And you can see Mr. Kasim Afegba really focused on that, trying to tell Mr. Peter Obi how to play opposition. What's your business? Focus on governance and govern the people. And if you did notice in that particular, he deflected from the issue of APC's failure that he was being asked about. He was talking about the fact that, the scenario they met. Is it not still APC that was there? Is it not Buhari yesterday that they were all, doubling at his feet, bowing at his feet? And when we were calling out that government, they were all attacking us. That today they are coming out to say that, they made failure. They do. Well, this particular failure is even worse than the so-called, that the failure that you had met. So what situation on ground is he talking about? And then this thing right there, that particular point, you could see how he was not able to talk about the fact that things were here. Mr. Fegba talked about the fact that monies were missing in APC, treasurer accusing chairman. Okay, fine. No, Labour Party rather, not APC. Monies were missing in Labour Party, treasurer. Okay, fine. The APC, they've been in government for over 8 years, and legitimately for 8 years, and illegitimately for the last, is it almost 1 year? No, it's not yet up to 1 year. It's almost another additional year, 1 year. And so, what about the Nigerian monies that are missing? What about the issue that is happening in custom? What about the oil theft? What about the bribery? What about the 3 billion that was used to verify a social register that the APC government under Buhari had already set up? What about the monies that, are the government? Focus on that. You understand? Focus on that. Reduce the cost of governance. Reduce the monies that are being used as conduit pipe all over the place. And then if they also want to now focus on what Labour Party, please let them feel free. Like Mr. Peter Obi said, here's where he has asked that the party should get, independent, what do you call them now, accounting firm to go there and investigate. That's what he's supposed to do. But when he talks about the fact that Tinubu is being distracted, shey baby, as in small pikin, Omomo is being distracted by what is happening in Labour Party. Tinubu is not being distracted by the killings that are going on. Tinubu is not being distracted by the hunger that is in the land. Tinubu is not being distracted by the revolution of the criminality under custom. Tinubu is not being distracted by the fact that his chief of naval staff has been, investigation has shown that he has collected over 300 and something $1,000 as bribe, and that people are stealing oil. Even when other companies, apprehend these people who are stealing our crude oil, they get set free. He's not distracted by that. He's not distracted by the killings. He's not distracted by the hunger. He's distracted by Labour Party. Make it make sense to me. Is it more of distraction, or is it more of fear of what is going on? So it's really, I'm just looking at it, I'm like, what? And then Peter Obi should sit down, Peter Obi should not travel. That's what is really affecting. I'm going to stop this video here. Then the way it is, we are going to have a part 3, because this is a whole lot that needs to be put into place. I need to analyze all of this video. So thank you for watching. If you've not watched the part 1 before, go ahead and look for the part 1 and watch the part 1. I'm going to drop in the description link, and then look out for the part 3. Interesting.
Ndị be anyị daalụ nne nụ ndị bụ onye ọma na-ege ntị ka isi wee nụkwa n'onu anyị and ka isi wee sorola anyị n'ihe anyị na-eme n'ife anyị mere n'ụbọchị nke taa na Eastern News 24. anyị si na ọ ya dịrị nche dị na mma na Chukwuka abịa ma ya nọọla ya ofu na ofu, otu anyị kwuru otu aka ya dịrịrị. ise dịka o si dị, ụnụ anụgo n'ihe Biafran Prime Minister kwugasị dị iche iche, and chetakwa na ihe a bụ evening tea. Before anyị aga n'elu ikwu okwu dị aha anyị chọrọ ikwu nke bụ ọ bụ na ihe a ka bụ ụbọchị ize gị na-esoro anyị na Eastern News 24, kabalụ ka ị join anyị and subscribe or turn on your notification ka ịlapụ miss any of our daily update. Ọ dị ezigbo mkpa ụmụchukwu n'elu akwụkwọ ka ịlapụ miss ya, maka na ebe ị na-eweta latest information na-emenụ ka ịma ka esi azụ onwe gị. Dịka o si dị, ajikwala ada ekene mmadụ dịka PM and also bụ ndị n'ọrụ n'ụlọokwu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye ndu nke ndị Igbo. Chukwuka abịa ma ya nọnyere gị. Ikpe gị na-abịa na 19th, Chukwuka abịa ga-enye gị freedom. Ise ị ga-ewere onwe gị, ọ nwere ife onye ịrọpụrụ ime gị, maka ife ị na-ekwu bụ eziokwu. Chukwuka abịa masị gị kwuo eziokwu a na-akụrọ mmiri. The gospel of Chukwuka abịa ya ka ọ na-ezi. Cheki ife niile onye ndu kwuru, pịkọ ka kreatọ, cheki stọk ya bụ ife niile a bụ ife n'ime obodo kịta. Chinefe a na-anụ ọzọ anọgide asị na sineti enye ya 500 million. Gịnị ka a jizi eme? And people nọ na-ata afọ, anọgide si mba not 255 million. What is happening? Sometimes na-ajụ ndị bayo gịnị na-eme na anyị ka e mere anyị ife a. Anọgide asị na eburu ụmụ akwụkwọ 200 and something Christians to tell you that this country can never be one. Ọ bụrụ ofu, chekie ya. Ọ bụkwa a ga-asịkwa na ndị Biafran Liberation Army bi eje bugo n'ụmụaka na Sokoto, a ga-akpọkọfa afa na to tell you the country, the bias, everything is not working, nothing is working. What ife na-alụ ọrụ, everything dey paralyzed ka onye ike ụwago. Cheki ya na ife anyị na-agwụ bụ eziokwu. Ịghọtago? Dollar na go exchange onye ahụ ndụrụ over na 750. Now today is sending bụ almost 1,658 naira. Imagine. Igbo bụ Igbo gwụna kwa ha m n'ọnụ. Kabalụ ka kọmentị ya n'ihe and share ya, ọ dị mkpa ka o lichie more of our blooders and bleeders ka ha mara ife na-eme n'obodo. Daalụ nne nụ, ngwanụ ka emesịa n'ụmụ Igbo.